It's that time. It is time. It is Homebrew Wednesday. Yeah, baby. Today I'm brewing a raspberry mead. I've got a pound of raspberries in the pot here. I'll show you. There's the raspberries. There we go. So with the raspberries, what I'm doing here is I'm going to bring them to a boil. Let them boil for about 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes. Should be enough to kill any sort of bacteria or wild yeast or anything that would have been on those raspberries. This is a 3-gallon batch. So we'll have, it's pretty much a simple mead. These two jugs of honey, they're 5 pounds a piece. So this is going to be 10 pounds of honey, roughly about, what do you think those little bags were? 1-2 pounds of raspberries? 2.
Well, what are you eating?
They're about $3 a pop.
Well, these here are actually fresh grown or whatever.
Oh, they're more than that then.
Yeah,
well,
a
they
little
were
bit.
probably about 2 pounds.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, they're like a big, like a freezer bag, you know, and they were thick. So I put one of them in. Well, actually, I got a bag here. I'll show you. One of these, a bag this size, is in there. See? So that's a pretty good amount. There's going to be sugars that will ferment off of that. 10 pounds of honey, which is a lot of honey for a 3-gallon batch. And that's pretty much all that's going to go in there. The yeast nutrient, yeast energizer will go in there. I've got a yeast starter going downstairs right now that I asked around a little bit and had a couple different opinions on doing it, because the reason why I'm doing a yeast starter on this is I'm doing 2 batches. I'm going to do a regular one that's just honey. And then I'm doing this raspberry one, but I only had 1 vial. Now 1 vial is enough to do a 5-gallon batch. Well, I'm doing 6 gallons. So I'm only doing 1 gallon more than what the vial, I guess, is designed for. So I wanted to do a starter so I could split it up, have a nice healthy, you know, amount of yeast in each batch and let them go. So what I did was I took DME and I used 7 tablespoons of DME with 5 cups of water. And I used 7 tablespoons of pure sugar cane. So that should be enough sugars and whatnot to get in there to get her nice and get them yeasties going back and forth. Yummy, yummy yeasties. So that's all I have for right now. We'll catch up later.
Really?
Oh. Sitting here brewing with Thermo 22.
Hey, how's it going?
And I've actually had him everywhere. I put him in the cupboard. I put him on top of the refrigerator. I actually had him in the microwave for a little while, but I didn't tell him that. Sorry about that, man. Yeah. Sorry about that, man.
In the microwave, or?
Yeah, he was in and on it. Had him in my pocket. I dropped him once too.
Thanks.
I did. Sorry about that again.
I went to the bathroom.
He did.
Oh my God.
Hey, we're a tight group. What do you say? Well, there's the raspberry. Actually, it's the raspberry and honey concoction. But all I did was, and there's the 2 jars of honey. I have them sitting upside down to get the rest of the honey out of them. So basically all I did was I just brought the raspberries and water up to a boil, and then I shut it off and stuck it in the sink here for a bath to try and, I want to cool it down now, get ready to pitch the water or pitch the yeast. So I'm just going to do an ice bath. Usually when I do an ice bath, I don't use ice the first time around. I just use water. You know, once you I'll fill the sink up. Well, I don't fill the sink up with water. I actually got pretty close to overflowing the sink when I set this in here. But I just use the tap water at first, and what that does is that transfers a good bit of the heat out of it, you know, right away, right off the bat. Once this water gets warm, then I pour it down the drain, fill the sink up again with water, and then I put the ice in to cool it down the rest of the way. So this is just about, yeah, why not? I'll go ahead and put the rest of this honey in. There we go. I think it's better to put the honey in there when it's a little, it's not, you know, when it's a little hot. That way it helps dissolve it, you know, the rest of the way and whatnot. And now that I'm doing this, give it a bit of a stir. That'll also help get the heat out. It's just that simple. Alrighty, that is the raspberry mead. I just pitched the yeast into it. It's actually the next day. We had some folks come over, and my starter just wasn't starting off as well as I had hoped. So this is the next morning, and I went ahead and pitched the yeast. It was nice. We're building up. We got things to go do this morning and afternoon, and hopefully a little bit later today I will get back and do part 2 of Mead, the other 3-gallon batch. Because my starter, I just poured half of it into this fermenter, put 6 half teaspoons of yeast nutrient and 3 teaspoons of energizer, or vice versa. The other way around. Into this fermenter when you don't see the road on either side of the fence. People act like it don't make sense. These big town dreams that I've been chasing will never come true if I wind up staying. And I don't want to fall in the same rut that everybody here seems to be stuck in now. Why do